WOCA.com or call 867-5309. Yes, that's our real number.
That's a cool number, too. 4 minutes after 9 o'clock, especially if you're in show business, they have a number like that, right? Yeah. A popular song. That's their phone, 867-5309, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's their phone number.
Wow.
It's kind of cool.
They must like big band music.
No, that was a rock song, wasn't it?
Oh, that's right.
That was a rock
right.
song.
I'm thinking of Pennsylvania 657 or something.
Right. Rabbi Yossi Hecht is in the studio. We've learned so much from Rabbi Hecht. You know, he's probably, let's see, of 100% of the information he's given us, there's a good 8% still in my brain.
A little more than that.
Rabbi Hecht is here. He's a friend of the show, a friend of the station, and he's the rabbi of the Chabad Lubavitch Jewish Center of Marion County. They're doing something pretty cool this Sunday. They're celebrating the Sefer Torah completion and dedication. They're having a ceremony for that, and this is going to be at the Live Oak in Cypress, in the Live Oak, or whatever, in Cypress Halls on top of the world. He'll explain it all. I'm trying to read here. And you got a lot of stuff happening that day, so let me just let you answer all the questions. Good morning, Rabbi. How you doing?
Good morning. How are you? Good to be back.
Do you like having a title? Do you like that title? Do you have more than one title, by the way? Like, they have a part-time job somewhere?
Rabbi PhD.
Rabbi PhD. Are you a doctor?
Papa has dough.
Papa has dough. Oh, that's what a PhD is. Papa has dough.
Yeah, well, you spoke about the Torah.
Yes.
And basically a Torah, if anybody's ever seen a real Torah scroll, the way it's been passed down all the way from Moses, it's written with quill and handmade ink, written on parchment, and every single letter has to be meticulously made in a certain way, and it could take close to a year just to complete this Torah. There are a few thousand, there are over 600,000 letters in the Torah scroll, going through all the portions of the entire Bible. It's, of course, written in Hebrew. And so when it is completed, we make a special celebration so that everyone can take part in the joy of another Torah coming to the community. And so what we're doing is we're giving the opportunity for everyone to come take part in the celebration. And it's after the scribe, which will have a scribe on site, and he's going to complete each of the letters. They leave over the last few lines that are uncompleted, and after he completes the letters, which he will allow others to sit next to him and help him out as he is completing those letters, and he shows them how to do it. And we then wrap it up and we dance with the Torah in the street. We have a festive meal afterwards, and it's very joyous celebration, very exciting.
Oh, wow. I never knew that about the Torah. And the Torah is in a special place at the front of the synagogue, right?
Yes, and the Ark in the front, and many synagogues have beautiful designs and all types of artwork to hold those, for the Ark that holds those Torahs. And of course, that in our tradition is the most sacred part of the synagogue, is the Ark.
Right. Do you know Rabbi Keyes? Do you know Jerry Keyes, by chance?
Yes.
I know the philosophy, you differ a little bit, but he had a story. His synagogue burnt down some years ago.
Yeah.
And the only thing that survived was the Torah. It was like a miracle to everybody.
Really? That's incredible.
Have you ever heard that story? Or
I've never heard the story.
Have you guys met? He's a wild guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're a lot more contained or something. We love him, though. I'm not making fun of him. So this is a celebration. You dance with it in the streets. What do you mean? Do people hold on to it?
Yeah, we hold on to it. And have you ever been to a Jewish wedding where they have a canopy?
Yes.
They have a bridal canopy.
Yes.
So we actually do the same thing when we have the Torah. We're going to hold up this canopy, and and the Torah is held under the canopy, and it's passed around. People have the opportunity to hold it. And we also give people opportunity to dedicate part of the Torah, to dedicate a letter, a word, a book of the Torah.
When I was a kid, I went to a bar mitzvah, and I think my friend Bobby Coleman had to read from the Torah. If I remember right, he had to get the scroll out of the Ark.
Yeah, in Jewish tradition, we read from the Torah every single Sabbath, every single Saturday. And when someone has a bar mitzvah, part of the bar mitzvah ceremony in many traditions is that that the child actually reads from the Torah, and it's very difficult to read from the Torah because there are no vowels in the Hebrew language. The vowels are symbols. They're not
wow.
they're not letters like we have, but they're actually symbols. And in the Torah, it doesn't have these symbols, and you have to recognize them, and you have to memorize them. So it is a little difficult, and it does take a lot of practice. And so when you see that bar mitzvah kid getting up and reading from the Torah, you know that he's been working a lot on that, and it took him a lot of time to get there.
Oh, wow. I love the part that it sounds like each Torah is handwritten, and it goes back all the way to Moses' time. That is pretty awesome.
Yes, every single letter is the very same Torah that was written from the way Moses taught us.
And is the entire Torah, and I should know this, I guess, but is the entire original Torah written by Moses? I mean, was his hand the hand
Yes.
on the pen?
Moses wrote 12 Torahs for each of the tribes of Israel, for each of the 12 tribes, and he then handed them on, and then they were copied for generations to come, and they've never been changed.
And those Torahs, is that the guideline for life?
Yes, the Torah is the guideline for life. The Torah is the blueprint for life. It teaches us how to live a proper life, a moral life, a justice life, and all that is included within Torah. And the Torah, many of you study as the Bible, but the Bible is a translation of the Hebrew Torah, which is the original.
Well, we need a translation. We wouldn't understand it otherwise. So when Moses first wrote it, now, again, I should know this, but was it God talking to him, or was it his thoughts? What exactly is written? Is it him or God?
The written Torah, the way we have it, is God's word dictated to Moses to write inside the book with quill and parchment. Moses actually wrote it down, and then handed down the physically written Torah to the Jewish people. Aside for that, together with the written Torah, the way we have it, he also gave an oral Torah explaining many of the parts of the written Torah, because many parts of the Bible, as you know, are written in ways that can be explained in different ways, and Moses gave the explanation together with it.
So he helped. In other words, here's what it says, and here's what it means. So the Ten Commandments, the thing about the stone tablets, did God physically use his finger to write those tablets?
Yes, the Torah says clearly, the Bible says clearly that God has carved it out. But the first one, which Moses broke, was carved out by God, and then God said, but for the second one, you're going to have to do it now.
So he had to carve it out himself.
Yeah, Moses did the second one.
It must have taken some time.
Since the last line will be finished on site, what does that last line say?
Oh, really? The last line gets finished on site? I missed that part.
One second. Let me just go back and correct something.
Okay.
Because it was misunderstanding. Moses prepared the second stone, which God wrote on.
Okay, so the second stone, he had to make a new stone.
Second stone, the Torah says that Moses prepared the stone, and then God said, and I will write on the stone that you will prepare that you will prepare.
Okay.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Does that stone exist somewhere?
Well, yes, it does. The stone, both of the two tablets, the broken tablets as well as the complete tablets, the second tablets, were placed inside the ark, which was inside the tabernacle in the desert. Right, this ark later on, if you read the story of the Bible, went with the Jewish people all the way to Israel throughout the 40 years of the desert, and then traveled them through Israel. And for the first few hundred years, until King Solomon built the temple in Jerusalem, it would travel around with them. And finally, when King Solomon built the first temple in Jerusalem, it was placed in the Holy of Holies. Then many years later, when the temple was destroyed, it was hidden away in tunnels under the temple of which King Solomon had built, so that if the day does come that the temple is destroyed, that it would be hidden away somewhere. So it's hidden away somewhere underground on the Temple Mount that has not yet been found.
Probably under that thing that's the focal point of all the arguments in the Middle East, under that gold dome.
The dome, the mosque. It's possible. It's unclear exactly where he made them, but yes.
Wow. I'm sorry, Robin. I want to hear this one too.
Yeah, you had said that the last line is unfinished and will be finished on site. So what does that say?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're going to have a scribe who actually writes the Torah. You have to be trained to write it professionally. The letters not only have a certain way that they have to be written, but they also have certain designs that have to be placed on them. There are these little crowns that are placed on top of the letters, and you have to be professionally trained to know how to do that. And so we're going to bring one of these professional scribes, and when the Torah is written, the last few lines are not completed, so that everyone can watch as it's actually being completed.
That's cool.
Yeah, and we'll have it out there, and a scribe will come and do that completion.
How much is that a good job to be a scribe?
Well, think about it. You're working on a book for half a year. It's not the greatest business.
Oh, so the scribe the scroll was the whole scroll was written by this. I mean, not written by, but what do you say? Written.
Well, the actual scroll was written in Israel.
Okay.
And we're going to have a scribe from here who will complete it.
Wow. Does he have a southern accent? Hey, Rabbi, I'm here to do the scroll.
He's from Miami. There's no southern accent
okay.
there.
Oh, he's got a New York accent.
You also
How you
have
doing, Rabbi? I got my pen here.
You also have a lot of different celebrations that are going on during that event.
Yes. First of all, we will have God willing, a presentation of where someone will come and actually show the process of how it's done, and he'll give people the opportunity to actually write their own letter as it's written in the Torah with quill and ink, etc. After the Torah is completed, as we said, we're going to go and dance in the streets, and following that, there's going to be plenty of food, good food, that I can guarantee you.
Do you know Robin went to New York? Yeah, a couple weeks ago with her husband. Robin and Ronnie went to New York, and she took a photo. Who took a photo of you at the hot dog stand?
TJ did.
At the hot dog stand, she said her son took a photo. Okay, you know these famous. And among the things she could have bought was a knish. I said, Robin, there was a knish there. You can get bagels in Ocala. I know you don't like our bagels, Rabbi, but we do have bagels in Ocala. But there's no knishes anywhere.
I eat the Ocala bagels, but they're still not authentic.
They're not authentic. But see, there was a knish right there. There.
And did you get it?
No.
I didn't see the sign.
She got the
on me.
She got the hot dog
hot
instead.
dog. Nathan's hot dog. Is that a kosher hot dog? Nathan's?
Was it one of these stands?
Yeah, it was a stand by the. Yeah, right there. I know, mystery meat.
Is Nathan's a kosher hot dog?
Nathan's is not kosher.
No.
No.
I thought it would be.
It's common. It's a common misconception, but
Hebrew National is a kosher hot dog. Right?
Hebrew National is technically kosher. Yes.
But Nathan's is all beef, right? So it could be kosher. No?
Yes, if it's done in the right way, if the process is done in the right way and done under rabbinical supervision.
All right. I didn't mean to steer you away from something important to talk about food, but I just thought I'd share that with you. I really find I felt like I was being a good student there because I was like all ears. I wanted to hear about that.
Well, we'll have hot dogs and knishes by our event. all kosher.
Oh, that's what made me think of food. That's right. So this is this coming Sunday here at the Top of the World, right? Mm-hmm. And let's see. What do we need to know?
Is there going to be a band there?
Should we bring a gift?
There will be a band, yes, playing music. Hopefully, if they show up.
Are Abbott and Laurel and Hardy going to be there? The two comedians you normally have?
Oh, we didn't order them this time. we have other types of entertainment
like
for
what?
The children.
Like what?
We have the arts and crafts that I was talking about, the presentation.
Oh, okay.
But the interesting thing is that we actually are doing this on the same week of when we celebrate the holiday of Shavuot, which is the time when we actually receive the Torah at Mount Sinai. That's the same week that we celebrate that.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. That's amazing. I do. Well, let me think. Oh, I thought the phone rang. I answered it, but there's nobody there. Oh, so I have a question then for you. The events that happened this week with the Pope visiting the Middle East, did you keep up with that stuff?
A little bit, not much, but I did see that he went and he went and made his rounds around Jerusalem.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense that we should live peacefully. Do you get the feeling that it's just a small group that's really the problem, that the majority of the people want to live in peace? Do you get that feeling?
Yes, that is true. It's definitely true on the Israeli side, and even on the Palestinian side. What happens is you have a few fanatics who are controlling the entire situation, and many of them just want to live regular lives, get up and work and live every day, and many of them are doing that, and many of them are even working in Israel. I don't know if you've seen about SodaStream, for example, where they actually bring in buses of workers from Palestine and they allow them to work. And these people are just looking for a job and looking to live a normal life.
Live a normal life.
But it is a small group who basically are the strong arm and they control what goes on there.
Yeah. So many stories in the news that trouble me. And one of these days, maybe we'll figure out a way to live together.
How long do you think this celebration is going to last then on Sunday?
About 3 hours.
And then are you going to read a part of the Torah after the scribe gets done writing?
Well, the reading of the Torah is, as I mentioned, the coming week we celebrate the holiday of Shavuot, which is the time when we receive the Torah at Mount Sinai, and we're going to make a separate event. You may remember I spoke about a cheesecake and ice cream party.
Yes.
So we're going to have that again at our place over here at the Chabad Center, and we will read from the Torah the first time, and actually the first part of the Torah that we're going to read will be the Ten Commandments.
Oh my gosh.
And so we're going to read the Ten Commandments, and afterwards there will be a dairy buffet, as is tradition for the holiday.
Dairy buffet.
And that's on June 4th, on Wednesday.
All right, and we do have a phone call. Let's take a phone call, and if you wanted to call, you can call. Rabbi takes calls. The phone number is 622-WOCA. That's the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline. Good morning. Thank you for waiting. You're on the air with Rabbi Yossi Hecht.
Yes, good morning, Rabbi.
Good morning,
you guys. I want to first, what time exactly is on Sunday? And second, are you, is this a conservative congregation, or is it Reform or Orthodox?
What do you say?
It's a good question. First of all, the event begins at 12:30 at the Live Oaks Hall on top of the world. We are Chabad, which is a Jewish outreach organization. We're open to all denominations. As I always say, labels are for shirts, and not for people. And we are open to all and allow all to participate.
Very well. Okay. And at 12:30, we're on top of the world, and that place that you mentioned. Okay. Would it be directions somewhere, just in case?
Can you give directions? I have the address here. Do you know it by hand?
I don't know it offhand, but it's on. If you go up 80th Avenue off 200 by the top of the world entrance, it's by Circle Square Commons where the where the main area
where all the arts and crafts are held and the concerts and things right there on the square.
Right. Do you want to give the address?
I know what that is.
Yeah, Robin gave me the address. We turned to Robin for everything. I noticed you turned to Robin for that too. Robin gave me the address. It is 8413 Southwest 80th Street. Not to be confused with 80th Avenue.
Which they both run perpendicular. It's at that intersection.
So 8413 Southwest 80th Street. Okay?
Great. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for the call.
You know, and his question answered, I mean, I never knew that Chabad meant that. I never knew that was, and I never heard you refer to the other Jewish churches as, what do you call them? Denominations. So it's the same word that we use in the Christian world, I guess, right?
Well, yeah. Well, technically,
I don't get the whole denomination thing.
There are different denominations in Judaism as well.
Do you have any crazy ones? Like, we've got some crazy ones where people like somebody's going to get mad at me, but you go to a church and they're throwing themselves on the ground and they're falling asleep or they're passed out or whatever it is they do. Have you ever seen this? They just you're looking at me like I'm nuts. But I'm telling you, you go to some churches, some people, this is the way they worship. I shouldn't make fun, but it just seems odd. You go someplace and they're,
you're on the ground.
Like if you go to a black church, have you ever been to a black church?
No.
I mean, they're singing. They have the hands up in the air. The hands are kind of like antenna, and they feel like they're getting some vibration or something.
Yeah.
That looks nice. That feels like it's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
But we have all different ways, I guess. Of
Well, if we're limiting God to one way, then that's not a God who created the world.
Right? Did I tell you the truth?
A limited God is not a God. A God is someone who can handle everything.
I would imagine. Your God is God? God is good all the time.
God is good. That's
There
right.
you go. There you go. You got a fan that's
When children want to have their faith and then they want to become a rabbi, do they participate in these kind of events differently than just the people of the congregation or the synod?
The children participate. Actually, we're going to give the children flags so that they can hold while we're dancing in the street, and the children will very much participate. And the children love these events. Actually, my little brother-in-law, who you met, right?
Yes.
He's 6 years old, and he's coming special, and he's really excited. And he says, "Oh, I'm going to get to hold one of the poles of the canopy." He's very excited about that.
So that would be your wife's brother?
How wonderful is that?
Yes, my wife's brother.
6 years old. Wow. There's a
That
big
is
age difference in
exciting.
her and him, huh?
Yeah, I have a very young brother-in-law.
Oh. I was going to say, a 6-year-old brother-in-law. How come I got a little echo going on right here? So it sounds like and we're all invited. I love the fact that you invite us all to these things. And
It's at 12:30 too.
30. There's going to be a
Sunday.
parade, you said?
There's going to be a parade around the Circle Square Commons.
Are you at the end? Are you the last guy? Are you like Santa Claus at the end? Are you the last guy?
Is there a special ink that is used to complete the Torah?
Yes, it's a special ink that's handmade in a special way that it will last for many, many generations.
They can't make a mistake then. They can't make a mistake then when the scribe is doing that.
That's right. You can't make
Yeah,
a mistake.
really.
That's why you need a professional scribe to do it. It's not like a pencil that you can just erase it and go back and try again.
Okay, now my stubborn head or something didn't hear something. Robin asked you before about the last piece that he's going to write. What is it? What's it? The translation of that?
Yeah.
Basically, it's the end of Moses' words to the Jewish people, and it talks about after Moses has already passed, it speaks about the greatness of Moses and all the things that he has done, and all the miracles that he has done before the Jewish people. And the last word in the Torah is Yisrael, which means Israel.
Oh my.
And when we finish the last letter of the last word of Israel, then we wrap it up, as you say. It's
a big celebration.
Literally, we have a wrap-up ceremony as well.
Gosh.
But I do want to focus on one more thing, which is a week from the following Sunday on the 8th, where we're going to have a special event for women.
Really?
Yeah, at the Hilton, and it's going to be a special event to celebrate the Jewish women. We're going to bring a speaker. A very successful woman who has actually worked in the media business, and she's been a journalist for NBC, and she interviewed many great people, and she's today a Chabad woman, and she has an incredible story to tell. Her name is Molly Resnick. And her talk is from showbiz to Shabbos.
Oh, how clever.
And
News isn't showbiz. What's the matter with her? I'm teasing.
but that's going to be an event especially for women.
Wow.
Which is going to be on the following Sunday in the Hilton. So
What's her name again?
Just
Molly
wanted
what?
to throw that out.
Molly Resnick.
Molly Resnick.
Oh yes, N-I-C-K. Oh, there she is.
There he is, right next to Steven Spielberg, right?
Wow. That's awesome.
Oh, she's a pretty lady.
And what time is that event?
That's at 5 p.m. on Sunday the 8th.
Oh, okay. Excellent.
And she goes to your synagogue?
No, she's coming from out of town, but this is from the Jewish Women's Club of Ocala, which is a collective event between all of the congregations, all the Jewish congregations here in Ocala, and the women of these congregations come together once a month to meet, and so now they're having a special gala event for all the women.
All right.
That is wonderful.
So it's a week. That's on the 8th. That's on Sunday at the Hilton, you said?
At the Hilton,
At
yes.
the Hilton, and that's just give give the number, I guess, for you or for the synagogue so that people can call you.
Number is 291-2218, and you can look at our website, jewishmarian.org, as in jewishmariancounty.org.
Right.
But it's just jewishmarian.org, and you can email us rabbi@jewishmarian.org if you want to get a hold of me directly. Or again, you can call 291-2218. And we're looking forward to the event, and we're sure it will be nice.
It will be nice.
All right, sounds like a lot of fun. And thank you for the education always. I think I'll probably retain some of that. I'll definitely retain you know what I'll retain? Definitely the part that all of the scrolls, all the Torahs, go all the way back directly to Moses, and they've all been hand done all these years.
Yeah, fascinating.
Any hard questions today? Because they were all easy today.
Really? Not really.
No hard questions.
We ran out of time.
You have to write them down for next time.
There you
I
go.
never have hard questions for you, do I? All right, we've got to push forward. Thank you, Rabbi. Always good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
And give our love and everything to your wife and family and to your synagogue. We've got to move forward. It's time for Fox News, and then we'll be back. Deal?
Deal.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu.
This year, we will bring America's longest war to a responsible end.
A day after he laid out plans to draw down forces in Afghanistan after combat operations end, the president in West Point's commencement address expected to share more details of the drawdown, also his vision for a new chapter in American leadership, including expanding support for Syrian rebels.
The president called off planned airstrikes last year against Assad in exchange for the removal of Assad's chemical weapons. Weapons human rights groups say continue to be used against Assad's own people. An administration official tells the Wall Street Journal the training program would supplement efforts led by the CIA, but some defense officials and allies have voiced concerns that a training program would even work.
Fox Radio's Jeff Manasso. And former New England Patriots player Aaron Hernandez due in court to be arraigned today on charges in a second burner case. Fox News, we report, you decide.
You put up with enough squealers. That annoying coworker? Squealer. Your kids fighting? Squealers. And that rat, Billy Parker, in the 5th grade? Big time squealer. So don't take squealing from your brakes. Get up to a $50 rebate Visa card on qualifying brake purchases. $50. Conquer the job with Napa Know-How. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer expires 5/31/14.
Make your small business even smarter with ADT Security Services. Through June 1st, get $250 instant savings on select ADT business packages.